No experts, no insiders, just fans.
I have no idea what happened with the music open there, but this is Tuesday nights. It's Rawsome. It's probably the curse of the Jew in the machine because I am the Jew that leads the crew. Adam Baum, here for another edition of SmackDown. Oh, I forgot to turn your mic on, co-host. Joining me is Irish. Don't mistake him for Roadie Rob. He's much more handsome, and of course the completely different hair color. Welcome back, Irish.
Oh, thank you. Nice to be back, Adam. Appreciate you.
I got to turn you up if you're going to talk like a fruit.
Oh, well, sorry. Okay.
All right, there we go. So, Medina's not here. He will be off for the next couple weeks. Kevin, shit in the middle, will be back next week. So, in place of all of them, we have the glory that is our chat board. Joining us on the chat board, Captain Obvious Alex Carter's here. Stike, Teddy Two Stone.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
The other Kevin, the one from Texas, is joining us. Let's see who else is here.
Oh, Team Irish supporting us. What's up, Teddy? What's up, Christopher?
Yeah, looks like Bang Bus and DP were here earlier. And
I like how you said Bang Bus and DP together. That's an interesting combination.
I did want to say it that way. Double G Gaming says Beavis and Butthead tonight. Yeah, kind of there. And Kashmir joining us. Welcome, Kashmir. We got our normal... Yeah, 3 key ingredients, and I have the Beavis to my butthead across the way there. Yeah. Real quick reminder before we get into too much. Last night, we kind of had a very uneven show, but it was very fun. We talked about the All-In and the ramifications and stuff like that at the beginning, and then we went in to cover what was a terrible episode of Raw. And before we get into covering SmackDown, I think once again, they did it to us. They gave us a good... I was pleased with SmackDown. So I have 6 days to think about this, Irish, and I no longer am thinking about the 24 hours of the shit show that was Raw.
SmackDown has been the superior product. Just like SmackDown, it's a superior product. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Okay, I can't tell if I have you loud enough or not.
I can't tell if your mom has me loud enough.
Well, that's pretty horrible. I don't know about that. I'll check with my dad. I think that he would say. Anyway, the key ingredients.
What you need to make a good SmackDown is your 3 key ingredients.
Damn, Stike. Stike says R-Truth was better than the entire Raw show. You know what? Fuck it. That is the name of topic number 1 now, is R-Truth was better than Raw. Topic number 2, a testing queen. And topic number 3, we're going to call it Wendy. Here we go. Oh, Teddy says Irish is up on Adam 1-0. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Thank you, Teddy. Appreciate you, brother. And
Yeah.
by the way,
Are you fucking crazy?
Aaron Gabra.
Yeah, nobody, you got to remember this is a podcast too. So every time you try to play to the camera, nobody out in podcast land knows what you're doing.
Aaron Gabrellis.
Okay, they don't know. What I'm saying is they don't know that you just held up a beer and tried to cheers them. Is my point. You catch?
But they could.
They could if they were watching this on YouTube, but as a podcast, they have no fucking clue.
I have not broken kayfabe.
I didn't. This isn't kayfabe.
You did.
This is
You
no,
did.
no.
Terrible.
This is
So back to the
fucking
show.
technical
Back
shit.
to the show.
Anyway,
Calm down, Rob.
yeah, don't even start with that. I am in no way.
He's an angry elf.
You got to remember, because I am.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Sounds like Paul Heyman.
Number 1, R-Truth was better than Raw. Well, let me just say right off the bat, R-Truth entertained me, and he got the pin in the main event against The Miz. And before the match, he kind of hinted that this stupid act was an act all along. What did you think about that, Irish? Did you buy into that?
I loved it. I loved every bit of it because it's the stupidity we expect from R-Truth, but it was in a really nice, fun, bite-sized way. You're not going to see it again for a long time. They're not going to rehash that because that's not something that can last. But it's basically Vince going, "I like that guy. Let him pin the Miz." That's basically all it was. It was Vince in his large, long table going, "What do we have as the main event? Let the black guy pin the Miz." That's basically what it was.
Wow.
And I enjoy that.
Wow. Okay, so we're going full on Vince as a racist in this gimmick. I fucking loved every second. Are you going to say
that he's not? Because I'm going to argue against that.
That's a different topic, is what I'm merely pointing out. I think that the fact that Miz and Maryse showed up early on in the day when nobody was fucking there, grabbed a live mic. I'm sure, I have to say this, but I'm sure Kerwin helped him get that live mic.
Dude, Kerwin has been the ace in the hole for the SmackDown broadcast for months now.
But you know what I'm saying. There's no way Miz just showed up and got a live mic. Kerwin hooked him up.
Oh, yeah, Kerwin.
And nobody's around, and they're calling out Daniel Bryan. And that was smarmy Miz, and I loved every second of it. And Karma Miz fucking paid the price, losing to R-Truth there at the end. R-Truth, pure gold since he came back from injury. Kashmir, he's been injured for a little while. Vince and R-Truth are buddies, Irish, is what Kevin says.
Oh, yeah, of course. Duh. I like the black guy.
I think this was just a poor excuse to put R-Truth and Carmella together at the end here for the mixed match challenge, is what I feel like. Vince is not racist, Juan says. Vince is racist if you don't make him enough money. Is that fair to say, Irish?
I got to agree with you on that. I think he's always racist. I just think it shows when you're not making him any money.
No, I mean, if you're making him money, he could give two fucks.
I agree, but I mean, I think he's racist the whole time. He's like, I can't believe that black guy's making me money. But that's in the back of his head.
Teddy has a question for you, Irish. Were you one of the dicks at All In?
I was not.
He was not. You heard it here first. More than Triple H is calling Mexican wrestler Mexican jumping jacks, Juan says. I was that in a promo? If that was a promo out in the air, it was probably a work. If you said it like behind closed doors and got busted on hidden tape, that's something different. Back full circle, the Miz and Daniel Bryan feud, it was a little telegraphed at the end, but I like that they used it to allow Truth to get a push and have this little angle. And now that they've announced the mixed match challenge, I have to admit that I guess I was kind of wrong about my thoughts of them doing a belt. They're just getting ready for an intergender tag belt. They're actually just getting ready to do another round of this in September. That's all it is.
I enjoyed what they did the last time. I thought it was fun. I really liked the Alexa Braun Strowman combo. That was my favorite. But honestly, the Asuka the Miz combination, that makes a lot of sense.
What do you think about the demotion of Bobby Roode no longer being Charlotte's partner?
Well, he's not on SmackDown, so there's that.
True.
And
okay, I didn't even think about that. But, okay, throw your logical argument out of the way. What else you got?
But, I mean, so you have the women's champion of SmackDown with the men's champion of SmackDown. Why does that not make sense?
I don't know.
That seems like perfect logic to me.
I guess. I don't think whenever you throw logic in WWE around,
fair.
It's like two magnets. Sometimes you flip them and they're like, and then other times you flip them the other way and they can't touch. There's some weird synergy there. And we had a little, this is one of those dumb things Adam Baum thought of. We had a little moment where we think that the SmackDown writing staff and the Raw writing staff truly are separate. And every week they compete with new leaders like a reality game show for Vince's approval. And the winning team gets immunity while the other team either gets axed or has to join the Kiss My Ass Club or
not the Kiss My Ass Club.
Yeah. Or, God forbid, that they just go through this.
You're fired.
Something's up with that. At the end of the day, the Miz and Daniel Bryan feud, while I don't like the inclusions of the wives, it has lengthened the feud to possibly give it the legs it may need to go all the way to Mania.
Yeah, I agree with that. My question is, when do they bring in the babies? Do we get a baby fight?
Did I tell you? Here's another one of my
the time travel thing.
Yeah, everybody out there. I'm a comic nerd. Irish is a comic nerd. I thought that the one
Marvel is better.
The one angle Vince has never tried to do, and again, we try to suspend disbelief all the time here.
Sure.
So the one angle he's never tried to do or tackle is time travel. Now is the fucking time. Imagine if he says and just picks two random women and says they are the adult children of Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan and Maryse and The Miz, and they do some big 6-person tag match, family on family, because they came back in the past here to help their parents in their struggle. Or who cares? Pure entertainment value. That would be something great. You forgot, Adam, they would have to shake Randy Orton's hand. Cashmere's reminding me on the writing staff. Oh, that's just to get into the room. That's like the physical challenge, Double Dare style. Then they have to do the mental one.
Dude, Stike, are you kidding me? You think that R-Truth and Carmella is your pick to win the Mixed Match Challenge? Please. This is the only push they're going to have. They're gonna lose in the first round.
He wrote LOL. I don't think he was serious, Irish. Before you bury him. Time travel storylines would never work. Captain Obvious says, why? Why? Okay? They've done way different things. Hell, just saying somebody is from parts unknown, you're implying that he's like Tarzan raised.
Clones, demons from hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the people that have godlike powers and stuff like that. But Berto...
You've had people die. The Undertaker literally hung the Big Boss Man. Hung him.
Okay, I think Berto is understanding me while he also is burying me, speaking of that. Double G Gaming, he says, this way is way too hokey. It would have to be way over the top for people to think that's a good storyline. I think they would do that. And Kevin says, they also didn't do an alien invasion.
Yeah, they did. The WCW, ECW invasion. That was pretty much the same thing.
Shut up.
It was terrible.
Number two,
I called it Testing Queen. I called it this hours ago and don't really remember why.
Testing Queen.
Oh, because I think this is a test. Is Charlotte Flair the Roman Reigns of the women's division? And here's why I say it's a test. Because if Becky wins, she's not.
Yeah, true.
If Becky loses after the push and hype and the way the crowd is behind Becky, even though she's a heel, I think that if they don't give it to her, then Charlotte becomes Roman Reigns officially, completely. There's already a ton of comparisons. If she gets somebody over and doesn't bury them, Becky beating her right now would be great for business. You could carry that feud out, let other things, happen, so that at the end you're at Mania with Charlotte and Ronda.
Now, are we talking about immediate, or are we talking about long term? As far as Becky beating her, like we're talking about, like
I'm talking about Becky beats her at the next pay-per-view, unless
pay-per-view, so not next SmackDown.
Well, yeah, I mean they're not having the match next SmackDown. It's at Hell in a Cell, so
right. But you know how things can go. People get injured. They push matches up. Things happen.
Yeah. The thing that Stike said earlier on the board, he said that he thinks that the Miz or the AJ Styles Samoa Joe has to be a Hell in a Cell, and he thinks that Charlotte and Becky, since this is the topic, also have to be in a Hell in a Cell. I think with Orton and Jeff Hardy, which, by the way, I fast-forwarded through those promos because I was running late because I'm really just not that invested into them in a Hell in a Cell. I think the other two rivalries are much, much more Hell in a Cell worthy. The Styles Joe and Becky Charlotte over Orton and Hardy, which just kind of started.
Did it just kind of start, though? I mean, like, it's kind of...
I know what they're saying, but it did kind of just start. I mean,
But you're right. I would really... the Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Hell in a Cell will be a lot of fun.
It would be. And if you put everybody in a Hell in a Cell, it's too much of the same match. You put the women in there, now it's a different match.
True.
Okay.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
CN Souls...
Even though you're a dick, I agree with you.
CN Souls says she's already got 7 title reigns in 3 years. Yes, it doesn't matter. On the other side, Roman Reigns has a Hall of Fame career, a Royal Rumble victory, 3 main events at what is it, at fucking Mania, he's got 4 championships, Grand Slam. I
And
mean,
he's
fuck.
giving Vince at least 10 good blowjobs.
Yeah.
Like, who cares anymore? Like, all right, so what? Can I tell you one of my biggest complaints with the WWE was with the whole thing about the pedigrees and the 7-time champ, 15-time champ, blah 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 blah.
Oh, it's 2-belt era and all that.
No, I understand that, but you know what? Give me the day count. I don't care how many times you lost it and then re-won it. I want to know how many days you held it.
But
That's more important.
But Brock Lesnar, you're going to count his days more than how many times he won it? Because Brock Lesnar probably in the modern era has more days than anyone.
That's fair. Then they should do defensive. Then they should do numbers like defensive titles, defensive title holds.
So fighting champions versus not. My thing is very simply, Charlotte has 7 championships, okay, in her 3 years. 7.
Asuka should have been champion.
No, it doesn't even matter. Not even talking about any other person. She has 7. The record all time is 7, and she's already tied it.
Dude, I mean, like,
Okay, you're talking about Cena being 16 and Flair being 16 and stuff like that. Cena, say what you want, was well over a decade into his career. Okay, she isn't even at the 5-year mark, and she has the most championships of any WWE women's wrestler of all time.
Cena was at the decade mark when he first started winning.
No, I'm saying when he was over a decade when he got 16. He's tied with Flair.
Oh yeah, when he got 16, sure.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying she is tied with Trish Stratus at 7 in under 3 years. That's fucked. No matter how you slice it, that's fucked. Now, all of that bullshit that I just discussed aside, I liked what they said back and forth tonight. Growing up a shadow, Charlotte, the way they went back and forth with each other was entertaining. I think it sucks for the fans in the audience that had to watch it on a split screen while we saw it like normal. I always think that's a cop-out. On the board, Flair's got 22, Teddy said. He wants to be reminded. He also said Charlotte, when she retires, will be a 32-time world champion. I don't doubt it.
Hey, Syke has got a good point here about Trish, saying that it took Trish 5 years to get 7 title reigns.
Yeah. Well, it took her 5 years as a singles wrestler. She was around and had a name for herself and was training.
As a valet?
Well, she then trained with Fit Finlay from the TNA days and became from a valet to a hell of a women's champion.
No. I will take nothing against Trish Stratus.
Vice is late because of the flu.
Trish Stratus is one of my favorite women wrestlers of all time. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Doesn't even have to be women. I love Trish Stratus. She gets the crowd. She developed. You watched her develop before your eyes. It was fun to watch her go from someone who knew nothing to someone who owned it.
That's true. We saw her mature from Stacy Keibler to Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
CN Souls, plus she was the first to have women's Hell in a Cell match. They're talking about Charlotte here again. First main event on Raw and possibly the first WrestleMania main event with Ronda next year. Wait, Trish didn't have the first women's Hell in a Cell match. She was the first to main event on Raw. Oh no, he's got this all wrong. Yeah, Trish was the first to main event on Raw. The rest of that stuff, you're right, is Charlotte. Sorry, anybody who's listening. CN first woman main event was Stephanie versus Lita, and yeah, that's what Berto's right. But the other stuff, Hell in a Cell, this could be her signature match too, Irish. If they were to put her and Becky in a cell, I don't think they're going that way.
You don't think that?
I think they're going to have the 2 cells and that's it. Roman and Braun, Jeff and Orton.
No, I think in order to make it, nah, I disagree. They're going to make the women's Hell in a Cell. They've got to do it.
They've got to.
They've got to give it parity.
And no chance it's Alexa and Ronda.
No, Alexa in a Hell in a Cell, they just eat her alive. And Alexa needs to be able to run.
And Ronda needs to be able to be a general, which she's not. So.
But I mean, like, you put Charlotte.
You're welcome.
Charlotte, who knows what she's doing, and she can operate in a Hell in a Cell, and Becky, who is way better than people give her credit for. Well,
yeah.
Than
I'm liking Becky right now.
Dude, Becky, first of all, she's in the best shape she's been in a long time. She looks amazing. Her moves are incredible, fluid. Her timing is good. I mean, like, and her, even though she's heel mode right now, people are eating it up with a spoon.
I'm glad you mentioned all that Do you feel it's weird? A lot of people, like take Bludgeon Brothers for example, go through
The Shitty Hammer Bros?
They go off TV, get a repackage, and come back. Becky just kind of evolved slowly, the change from the little steampunk to where she is now. Subtle changes here and there over the course of her turning heel. Stike said a while ago on the board, and I hate if he's right, he said that he thinks they're pulling the plug on her heel turn. He says reports are WWE's dropped Becky's heel turn and are just going to let the crowd react the way they want. Taking sides. It kind of felt that way tonight because they were so behind her, but I think they were behind her because a little bit of the Roman goggles. Okay, we're behind him because he's fighting Roman. Yeah. The universe is behind him because he's fighting Roman. The universe is behind her because she's fighting Charlotte.
Could anybody
let her be the heel because she's stale as a face?
Could anybody fight Roman Reigns and not be cheered besides Brock Lesnar because they're so tired of him not being on shows?
I don't know. That's we'll find that out on Mondays. But do you agree with let Becky was stale, using your word. Becky was stale as a face.
Yeah.
She seemed to gain interest.
Stale like AJ Styles, I agree.
Fuck you.
Number 3.
Wendy.
Speaking of,
that's your segue there. Yeah. These guys have a lot of history beyond WWE. I like the way they're playing this, but they've already, in my opinion, used their one get out of jail free card to not give Joe the title. Joe needs to get the title.
I agree. At this point,
whether it's a cell match, whether it's a regular match, and these two guys have never fought in a cell.
Joe and AJ in a cell would be fun as hell.
It would be a shame not to do it because neither of these guys have been in this type of match. They haven't
ever.
They're not Hell in a Cell.
Ever?
They were in Lethal Lockdown. Fuck yeah.
It just seems weird.
They were in
Lethal
Lockdown.
Never been in Hell in a Cell. Well, AJ's been in Elimination Chamber, which is basically Hell in a Cell, basically.
Jason Jordan versus Roman Reigns. Captain Obvious is saying, I have no idea what he's talking about. What? And they're talking about they should have done 3 cells. SmackDown's women's, Orton Hardy, and from Raw, if you wanted 3-on-3 Shield versus Braun Ziggler and McIntyre for all the belts.
Obvious is responding to my comment that who would the crowd boo if they were up against Roman Reigns besides Brock Lesnar, and it was Jason Jordan.
Oh,
I agree with that.
That's a good one. Double G Gaming Birdo, everybody shits on me all the time for saying all the gold, and I want to take a minute here. I know we've been talking about Raw a lot with the 3-on-3 Shield, Ziggler, McIntyre, Braun, like. Collaboration for all the belts. All the belts, I think, are finally my dream, my vision, my desire of it. All the belts are finally going to be put on the line at Survivor Series weekend. Oh, why I say weekend? Because it's going to be at War Games. The way the teams are divided, I think the Bruiserweight, I don't know if the UK title is on the line too, but that's the extra title. The Bruiserweight joins Mustache Mountain. Ricochet joins War Machine. What are they called now? War Raiders.
Yeah, War Raiders. Yeah.
War Raiders, and then Undisputed Era, and winner takes all the gold. It would be the way to go. I don't think the main roster is going to do that, especially because that'll just be obvious that the Shield's going to take it all, and I think it's time for Braun there. Enough talk about Raw. AJ and Joe, just like Miz and Brian, I feel that this feud is escalating nicely. It's not being forced on us. It's not being rushed. But they do need to keep it going with a win for Joe.
You being a student of pro wrestling for the last 15 years, probably longer than that.
Fan, student, whatever.
No, let's be real. You're a student.
Yeah. Well, I got smart at some point.
Well, smart's debatable. I just said you're a student. Didn't say you're a good student. My point is.
Yeah. What is your point?
Well, if you stop interrupting me, I get there. My point is that you being a student of wrestling and watching different groups kind of evolve, like you said earlier, you've watched them feud in TNA. You've watched them feud, and you've watched Joe go through.
Yeah, they fought for the X Division title. They fought for the TNA World title. They fought now for the WWE Championship.
And I think that you've enjoyed watching the evolution of it. I am not as privy to the TNA experience.
It's right in front of you, buddy.
I understand that, but I haven't.
If you want to
watched
borrow
yet.
it,
Thank you.
You're welcome to borrow it. That's my library there.
Yeah. It's very small.
You know, because they don't have TNA on the web there. So, you know.
I might borrow that as long as it's not AJ Styles. I don't want to. Maybe if I need to go to sleep.
Oh, you've got to watch Petey Williams, Sabin, and AJ in a triple threat Ultimate X match.
I've had some.
We are way the fuck off topic.
I've had some issues with insomnia. Maybe I will borrow some of those AJ matches to help me go to sleep.
You know.
That should happen.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Bob. I let it happen. Irish, good for you. You got one on the boss.
SmackDown presents
Good, bad, and glorious.
Go ahead. Make my day.
One of the best theme songs for one of the worst wrestlers.
AJ and Joe are scheduled to fight at the Super Showdown in Australia. Stike says, I don't know about that. Bang Bus, Adam knows who Chris Sabin is. I'm surprised. I was watching big time AJ back then because I was a Jeff Hardy and Christian Cage fan, and I liked when they went over. And I got hooked on AJ and Christopher Daniels and Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns later. Team
AJ.
Canada. AJ already beat JBL's title reign on SmackDown. Put the title on Joe, see where it goes. That's from Kashmir. I don't disagree. Irish is an angry leprechaun instead of an elf like the boss man, Rody Rob.
Well, Teddy, takes one to know one.
Oh.
He's an angry elf.
Just have AJ hold it until Rumble where he faces Miz and Bryan and wins the Rumble. Where he faces Miz and Bryan wins the Rumble. No, let Joe win it through. You cannot bury Joe at this point. If you want to give him any legitimacy, I'm sorry. I hate to disagree with you, Berto. Normally, you and I are on the same page. This time, we're not. Let's move on to the awards because we already played the music. It's the good, the bad, the glorious. We got creative fail, and we got LOL. Irish, I want you to kick us off with your good.
My good. I like the fact that they had Miz and Maurice the whole show. I like that they had him interwoven. I enjoyed that. It was fun. It was a good narrative.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 coins for it.
Ooh.
And Anaconda Vice is unfortunately probably right. He says The Rock's winning the Rumble so he can fight his cousin.
Oh God, please don't.
Again, though, Anaconda Vice was late because he's got the flu, so his fucking his just head could be wrong. That's why they're. I'll get to yours, Bang Bus. Let me do my good first. I also put the Miz and Maurice, Mr. Irish, but I put them out specifically for calling out Daniel Bryan and Brie long before anyone else had even arrived in the arena. That was my good one. On the board, let's see. Good, the U.S. title segment for Bang Bus. Oh, wait. Double G Gaming, where does AJ go after losing? Back to the U.S. title? Fight Nakamura? No, he's got to have 10 rematches. Stike, good. Rusev Day winning, even though they are going to probably lose to the Bar. Yep. Which is a shame, because Rusev Day versus New Day is better than seeing the Bar and New Day again.
True.
Good. Becky Chanel and her inner Conor McGregor or Becky channeling. I read it as Chanel.
You did.
There's something wrong with me.
You did read Chanel.
Becky channeling her inner Conor McGregor during that interview. She's great. That's from Kashmir. She was very smug. Good. No Kevin and R-Truth. That's from Teddy. And good MJK diss on Eminem. I have no idea what you're talking about, Captain Obvious.
Machine Gun Kelly had a diss track on Eminem with Eminem's new release.
So basically, Machine Gun Kelly's trying to become more relevant by attacking Eminem?
Basically.
The old Kanye strategy. Anyway.
I'm going to let you, Adam, I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish.
Bad. I'll kick it off. Because I want to steal this bad from Irish's potential bad. And that is, we still don't know who Kerwin is. We haven't met him, like, face to face. That's bad.
Can we just start getting shirts that say, who the fuck is Kerwin?
Oh, that'd be great. You know where else you can get shirts? You can get shirts at thecollarandelbowbrand.com. If you go there and use the promo code marked out, one word, all caps, you know what you get, Irish?
I got an $8 beanie.
You get 10% off.
It was $9, and I got it for $8.
There you go. Irish can do math. So can you. 10% is money, and it goes back in your pocket. Take advantage. Anaconda Vice late his good. Truth getting the main event spot. It was good for Truth there. What's your bad, Irish? I already gave them the good with that 10% off deal. What's your bad?
You know, I got to tell you, I am what is Ty Dillinger's purpose these days? What does he do?
He's the protege of R-Truth.
You disrespectful, stupid idiot.
They really have no idea what to do with him right now. They're like, where's the guy with the long coats? Put him with the black guy.
This is kind of interesting, though, that they set it up that way. But I can see where right now it's bad. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Bang Bus, bad for him. Luke Harper at catering.
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
You get a Roddy for that one. Bad the Iconics for Captain Obvious. Alex, guess what? No, the Iconics are never bad. Yes, Naomi was a forced work. Naomi. Yeah, okay, it was forced. Doesn't mean they're bad. Anaconda Vice, bad. Asuka getting put in these lame angles. Hey, she's been gone for a month. Let's bring her back for no fucking reason. Iconics on the microphone. They make Stike's ears bleed. Damn it. Kevin from Texas says Kerwin is real, he thinks, but bad is no knock America. Why haven't we talked about it before now? Irish? Because it wasn't fucking there.
True.
He's the U.S. champ. He was feuding with Jeff Hardy, and Orton was in the middle, and now they're just like, hey, we're going to Hell in a Cell. Fuck you, Knock. Knock doesn't even have a potential opponent, and we are 2 weeks away.
I don't think he's going to have an opponent.
Wait, are we? Do the math. 12. Yes, we're 12 days away. So we only get one more SmackDown. Knock's not on the card, doesn't have an opponent.
You think R-Truth?
Next week is a go-home show. Oh, he goes to Paige and says, I beat Carmella, I get a title opportunity. And she goes, you beat The Miz. He goes, okay, so I beat Carmella's husband. And gets all confused.
He uses that to get a title shot for the U.S. Championship. That's possible.
And it could be a really fun match with the two of them fucking being gimmicky back and forth. I don't know. It has no build though.
Yeah, but how much fun would it be to see R-Truth doing Nakamura's shtick in front of Nakamura?
Oh, and Captain Obvious throwing punches back about the Iconics. He says, keep telling yourself that, Adam.
Teddy, I'm totally with you. Khabib is going down. Brother McGregor.
Yeah, Teddy said his bad tonight was no Medine.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's
and
going on.
Apparently Kevin from Texas agrees. Knock and Almas, I'd love to see that. Stike, I would too, but they have not built that in. And Knock and Truth would be pre-show, Bang Bus says. I agree.
You guys are upset? No Medine? Do you want me to just put an action figure here and have him stutter every 20 minutes? I could do that. Same thing.
No, you got to have him go like this, and then talk. Then I get really loud, and then it goes back and real soft. Sorry if anyone was driving during that portion of the show. I was just trying to do a Medine impersonation. This is glorious. Glorious for me. It's a weird one. Almas and Vega coming back out at the end.
Okay.
All the way up until they got put in the double yes lock. I loved that they were like, hey, remember last week? We're not just props in this rivalry. We're involved. We're going to be the guys that go out. We want our spotlight. That's our angle. We're going to go take it. But then they just got put in yes locks so that Miz and Maurice could stare at them. I mean, we got to go home show next week. That's it. So what? Vega's going to fight Bree next week? I bet you that's what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
On the go home show.
That'd be fun.
I bet you.
I'd like that.
And then she can have 2 rope botches. What is your glorious, Irish?
It's probably going to be a bit on the nose. My glorious is the boring one. AJ Styles taking Bobby Roode's spot as Charlotte's partner. Glorious!
I don't know what they're doing with Bobby Roode. He's Chad Gable's partner.
They have no
now.
idea what to do with him.
Jesus.
They do not know what they're doing.
Such a shame. Glorious on the board. Bang Bus. Brie Bella not getting a botch tonight. Glorious R-Truth.
True.
Getting a legitimate win over a main event star like The Miz. Stike said.
Brie Bella actually did a good job tonight. She crushed it.
I think R-Truth earned that victory, Stike, with the verbal abuse that Miz gave him backstage. We didn't really talk about this, but he goes, Didn't we used to tag together? How long ago was that? And Truth said 7 years ago. And he goes, oh, I think that was the last time you were relevant. He goes, you know, you're kind of a joke now, right? And even played that through with Ty Dillinger. And then at the end, he goes, well, guess who's in the main event on SmackDown? I think R-Truth is getting one last, even if it's not like a pay-per-view level run, he's getting one last little push. You know, he's pushing 50.
So you think it's R-Truth, like it's Vince's gift to R-Truth to give him a little more shine before he's fallen down?
He's a good worker. Give him something for it. He got that one push where he fought Cena at a pay-per-view, the main event for the belt, and he hasn't been relevant really at all since then.
I liken that to Hardcore Holly fighting Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, like back in 2005, whenever that was. It was just a gimme. They had to put somebody in there. Yeah,
Captain Obvious and Kevin also say R-Truth. Why is untalented always pushed in WWE? I understand looks are 90% of wrestling, but when there are dozens of others, I don't understand why they're pushing the same people. That's from Berto. I agree with you, but I don't think it's just about the athleticism, because there's a lot of athletic people. You've got to have the charisma of the promos to sell me. You know, when you watch a TV show, doesn't matter the TV show, Friends, Modern Family, How I Met Your Mother, doesn't matter. You get invested in those characters over time. When you watch a stand-up comedy, you want someone to just tell you jokes.
Yep.
We're watching a male soap opera. It can be Cinemax level acting, but you have to sell your gimmick to me. Velveteen Dream sells his gimmick to me. Taker sells his gimmick to me.
Ricochet is doing a good job of that right now.
Well, Ricochet is just a unique athletic specimen, but he's a good example, Irish, because in addition to his athletic prowess, he can cut a promo and talk on the mic.
And he makes an interesting character, just like The Rock did. The Rock may not be the best wrestler in the world, but he's athletic enough to get through things, and his promo work, his charisma, is what you're buying into.
And that's why I've always defended, I know Rob likes to call Dean Ambrose slow, which he definitely is, but on the mic, he's good. He reels you in. You think he's whatever. R-Truth, you think that is capital punishment is what I was thinking of. Stike says, I knew he had a main event match against Cena that he, of course, lost, and there was no rematch or anything else.
Well, sure, of course not.
We got 2 awards left, Creative Fail and LOL. I've already used both of mine up. My Creative Fail was No Nakamura, and my LOL was R-Truth. Irish, what's yours?
See, I can't go LOL with R-Truth because honestly, I feel like I was very happy that worked out. However, I will say,
but he was funny as the whole thing with the who's on first kind of vibe, where he was with May Reese.
But I won't.
Before Miz came up,
the whole performance like it's like the whole performance was a joke. I will LOL the conversation where he was going to Carmella. He goes, "Oh, I need to find Carmella." And he goes, "I am Carmella." That actually had me laughing out loud.
What about the end when he goes, "Okay, so then you'll come out with me and we'll fight Miz and that other Carmella"?
That was a great little run. Like that was like with the way you said the R-Truth thing. That made it feel like you thought the whole thing was a joke and you weren't laughing with him. And I didn't really appreciate that because I actually thought it was very entertaining.
He made me laugh. I enjoyed him tonight.
That was fun. So much more fun than Raw. Raw sucks.
Yeah, think about this though. Amidst all the chaos of all the rivalries,
do you realize that we just
you just agreed, had R-Truth in the background doing skits.
We just agreed that R-Truth has single-handedly made this SmackDown better than Raw.
I don't know. We said it at the top of the show,
but I mean, like. It's just mind-blowing to repeat it and just let that sit for a minute.
Well, and you think about it, he was the only person, no, Miz was too, and so was Daniel Bryan, but he was in a lot of segments tonight, featured, and he's not in any rivalry right now. He has Ty Dillinger, who kind of hangs out back there in this Carmella angle. No New Day is also a creative fail on the board for Kevin and Bang Bus. LOL, R-Truth thinking Maurice was Carmella, that's Teddy. Creative fail, a random Oscar appearance. Yep, Kevin. Promoting 5 pay-per-views at once is LOL for Bang Bus. Wait, let's do the math. We've got Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
We've got Evolution.
Yep.
We've got Super Showdown. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Australia show.
Yeah, I think he's technically trying to call the Mixed Match Challenger pay-per-view. It's not.
No, that's not a challenge. That's a Facebook series like they did before, right?
But what was the other? There's one other we're missing.
That's where I realized that Alexa Bliss and I were small mates.
Yeah, creative fail having sanity lose yet again. Main roster NXT graveyard. Yes, Cashmere. Until the day that Triple H takes over, it's true. Creative fail. Corey Graves calling R-Truth Ellsworth. Damn, Stike, I didn't hear that part. No dick spot on WWE TV is a creative fail for Teddy.
How do we miss R-Truth getting called Ellsworth by Corey Graves? Corey Graves, the best commentator on both shows.
Yeah, R-Truth just proved that he can still be relevant, and the guy looked good. I mean, he is the former TNA World Champ.
The first.
I know he's never, or he was NWA or TNA, whatever the hell belt they had. He was the first champ for that organization. He's a good worker. He's just never gotten anywhere. I think he might have had a U.S. title run, and I know he had a couple brief tag titles, but that's it. Not too much to go on. Oh, the other's the Mae Young Classic. Thank you, Cien Souls. Of course, I forgot the women. Oops. Anyway,
misogynistic pig.
we don't have much as far as dirt on the sheets go. There really isn't any mud report. There's no extra production value. I got to be honest, just busy week this past week where I supposed to go out of town, and I never even ended up going out of town because I was so damn busy. So I don't have any extra stuff. And Kevin does the Mud Report, Irish. I don't know if you know that.
I do.
And Medine, he
Sucks.
does.
Medine sucks.
Yeah, he does This Day in Wrestling History, though. And so the problem is, I don't know if you know about Monday nights. We brought it up a lot, but this asshole kept calling in on all Rob's segments, so now he's turned off the fan line. So Medine could even call in and do the game, but he's not here. Kevin could even call in and do the report, but he's not here and can't call in because everybody screwed up the line. You know the saying, one bad apple spoiled the whole bunch?
Fucking Chris Benoit.
Yeah. Ruined it for everyone. If you really want to think about that, leading Angle, got screwed in that whole deal.
Oh, of course.
And he could have spent his whole career here had that not happened. And he the fallout because he was on the same medication with the same doctor and had the same neck issues reverberated toward him, if you will. It sucks. JD's an asshole. He broke kayfabe is what Bang Buzz says. This day in podcast history, Adam's baby girl started walking. Juan said it was actually a couple days ago. But yes, very excited there. Just in time. Her brother will be here in 3 months. Adam was meant to go out of town on the Ho train, Teddy says. So, by the way, since my segue through all that bullshit garbage that I just said was that it's final thoughts time.
You're segueing like Simon Dean?
Simon Dean? The wrestler? Was there a he was that fitness guru.
Who showed up on a Segway.
Oh. That's right, he did. Simon Dean was forgettable. Only you would remember him.
And you're welcome.
Who's hyped for NBA 2K19 Thursday? Bang Bus says, I would be if I had any money and no kids so that I could stay up late and play it.
NBA 2K, not excited. However, WWE.
Adam was
Montez Ford's going to be in this one.
Yes. I am excited for that. The thing about and a kayfabe break here for you, buddy Irish. You don't have kids, so I'm going to break it down for you.
That I know about.
Okay. I bought last year's wrestling game. The day it came out, I went to one store. It was out. I drove another 2 miles, found it at another store, and bought it. Okay. I took it home and I played it for a day and a half. And then I haven't played it since, really. I haven't gotten to. Now, the baby's awake. I'm not allowed. When she's asleep, I got to do other stuff. Quietly. Certainly can't play a video game. So I really want to buy this new game.
So what you're saying is
and I know I'll just throw the movie. Me. No, you get it, and then I'll beat you.
Oh, no, you won't.
You missed the Mud Report. No, I didn't, Captain Obvious. You should have listened to me. Yeah. Final thought for Juan. SmackDown will always beat Raw. Let's see. Adam was actually going to a bar mitzvah. Sorry, guys. That's what Anaconda Vice says. I was going to bar mitzvah. When? What? Final thought. Didn't watch SmackDown tonight. Next week is Bar vs. Rusev Day, or is Rusev Day fighting New Day? Nope. It's Bar vs. Rusev Day. Final thought. Irish should have a segment Kevin says, Irish, what would your segment be?
Oh, we've talked about that. Maybe I might have one coming up. We're batting some ideas around.
Final thought, SmackDown was great. Hopefully they make Joe Styles or Becky Charlotte a Hell in a Cell match. Stike says, do you remember on TNA when they did the, what do they call it, Lockdown? And every match was in a steel cage. And then the final match, they put a roof on the cage and called it Lethal Lockdown. It took away from the romance of having a specialty match by making them all that way. I think if you put too many Hell in a Cell matches on the card, aren't you doing the same thing?
They should have just made it War Games.
You can't make it War Games. That's a property of NXT. Vince, I'm surprised Vince even allowed that on there. Oh, I missed Captain Obvious's mud report. Oh, so I got to scroll back up there. It fucking better be worth it. I'm going to kick your ass if it's not. No, I won't really because I have no way to.
Oh, Captain Obvious.
What did he say? I don't see it. I'm not looking. It's too much. Too much, Alex. Too much. Oh, Seth Rollins might have been injured last night.
Oh, when he hit the window?
Oh, wow. He did hit it awkwardly. If he was injured, I argued before that they tried to push the Shield angle, and the reason that they're doing it now is because remember Dean got hurt right after it started.
Well, I think
Seth got hurt. Wow,
that would suck if Seth got hurt. Seth's
is Jason Jordan healthy to take his spot?
Oh God, Seth's one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. I love watching Seth Rollins.
I enjoy his matches.
I think he's a great wrestler.
He's not stale. He's just like AJ.
I will not agree with that. You know I won't.
And Nick on Vice has asked me if I play video games. Yes, I play video games. Look, GTA and a bunch of sports games.
Adam, you were lured in by AJ Styles' beautiful baby blue eyes. That's the only reason why.
No, I was lured in because that time period that you said, check the tape, not that long ago, on this broadcast, you said you weren't familiar with those guys back then.
True.
If you had seen the maturation of AJ Styles' career from then to now, AJ, when he says the house that AJ built, he's fucking talking about that. And had they not gone main event Mafia and added all these fucking washed up WWE and WCW has-been talents outside of Sting and Kurt Angle, who both had good runs, everybody else should not have been there. Christian Cage and Jeff Hardy did earlier, but everybody else, they should not have brought the Steiners and the Bookers and the Kevin Nash.
I don't know if throwing Booker T in there. He had a couple good matches. I've seen
okay, but the main event Mafia Angle and all that bullshit.
Angle had some great matches in TNA.
He did, but I'm saying that kind of killed the momentum of what they had built on their own with all these name talent. And even Abyss, who's a complete ripoff of Kane, was a very unique talent.
Yeah.
You know, and they just let it all go to hell by bringing in all these washed up guys from other big companies.
I just want to go on record, just so it's here and clear, that Kurt Angle is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Okay. He's on my Mount Rushmore, right next to the guy you think is stale.
Is he in the Teddy Roosevelt spot?
I don't know.
AJ Styles?
I'm not smart enough to know where the four presidents are.
He's over there in the corner. He's like
off to the side?
The only reason he's on there is because he was the president when they were building it.
Nah, Hunter's off to the side so everybody can see the profile of his schnoz. You gotta have that.
Hunter's on your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, hell yeah.
Who's your fourth?
HBK.
What?
You got to remember, I'm not a WCW guy, so nobody that you're going to argue potentially that belongs there is going to qualify over for me.
Undertaker?
Hmm.
Not a WCW guy ever.
I know, but he's not on mine.
Wow.
He's not on my Mount Rushmore. He'd be in my top 10 for sure. He might be number 5.
Triple H wrestled for WCW at one point before he was Triple H.
Triple H, man, the fucking game.
He can do coke here from wherever he is right now.
Yeah.
Just he and
Carl Malden. Oh, I thought you were going to say Carl Malden.
Wow.
Nobody understands.
How old are you? Jesus.
I'm
Carl
very
Malden?
fucking old. I'm the oldest person to Marked Out. We are way off the rails.
So my gosh.
There's no point to continue this show. I can't think of anything else to close with.
Oh, let's just say that Teddy is too stoned right now.
Well, let's also just say that you can tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side. SmackDown Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.